Hello, welcome. Today we are doing the new MGMT album, Loss of Life. No wheel, it's brand new. The
Yeah,
Wheel of Life gave us this one. Um, MGMT is back. It's been 75 years since their last record,
that's true.
which we reacted to on the channel a couple years ago. People seem to watch that one quite a bit. So, but yeah, I think we're all very big fans of that record, to put it lightly.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
and I've heard a little bit of congratulations. I know this guy's heard more. Um, But yeah, there's been like three or four singles for this thing. I've heard Mother Nature and Bubblegum Dog. Bubblegum Dog's a slapper. I don't remember Mother Nature.
Mm.
Is that a good thing? I don't know. We'll find out. Um, but yeah, I think that's all the introing we need to do for this thing.
Yeah, I suppose that
Yeah.
is true. We can just get started then with Loss of Life Part 2.
Part one.
The first one is going to come a little later.
Oh, okay.
All the way at the end.
Taliesin, I sing perfect meter, which will last to the end of the world.
I know wonder is an echo in a hollow.
While silver gleams, while breath is black.
Why a white swan has black feet.
I have been a blue salmon. I have been a dog, a stag, a
I think we're just going to go straight into Mother Nature.
a spade, an
Good thinking.
axe in the hand. A stallion,
A lot to say about this.
I knew you did.
still another. I fell to the ground.
I thought he said why honey is green for a second, but he probably said money.
Probably.
Nights was I in her crop. I have been dead. I have been alive. I am Taliesin.
They have not lost the quirk.
No, I like that.
I put the groceries down on the front lawn and think maybe the children just want recognition. I wrote the fairy tale on a midnight drive, wanting to know if I'm more than alive. I torched the fields again and kill an honest man. Now I understand Mother Nature and taste the bitter tea that won't let you hide. Then we can take away as much as we can steal. Break all the precious bones before the gods appear. Before the fantasies cast into the fire and strike the temple bell to resonate the calling of the heart. You know what comes right after the dark. But I understand your hesitation.
All right, that was Loss of Life Part 2 and Mother Nature.
Very good. Loss of Life Part 2 is just Monty Python.
Oh,
That's
is
all I have
that
to say
it?
about that song. I don't know. It sounded
Oh.
like it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe it gave me. It's very MGMT, but it's also very weird. Um, I don't know. I like it. It's it's kind of just like an introduction, I guess. The lyrics didn't really make much sense, but I mean, it was cool to just kind of be like, "Ooh, this is a little mysterious." And then Mother Nature is like almost the most like I don't want to say straightforward, but it's very conventional and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Very 70s, like very hippied out, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the drums. The drums are like massive. But But yeah, I think the song progresses really well. I love the lyrical content. It seems like they're trying to like start a new. I don't know. It feels like they're in a different point in their career now. It's been 6 years since the last album, so I guess I got a lot of catching up to do. But I don't know. I think it's a really nice, straightforward, more like '70s rock type song.
Yeah.
It's like not stunning, but it's also like really really well made. I think the production on it was like really clean. But yeah, good start.
Bab Jab, you go.
That was a very congratulations coded song, and I like that. I avoided listening to the singles because I wanted
I
the
did
whole
too.
album experience. So that was my first time hearing that, and I love that. That was very good. Yeah, I just yeah, like I said, it sounded like it could be off of Congratulations, which is a great album that we haven't listened to on the channel yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We were supposed to, but we skipped it.
We did?
But yeah, 'cause we got it right
Oh.
after Little Dark Age.
Yeah.
Oh. I forgot.
But yeah, I love that song. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I am a big fan of like 70s soft rock and stuff. Like I could see that being like off of some early Eagles stuff. I dig that. And yeah. I mean, I didn't listen to any of the singles. That was my first time listening to it. And yeah, I think we're in for a treat. That was a really great start. Well, we'll move on. Track 3 is Dancing in Babylon featuring Christine and the Queens.
That's crazy.
You can tell it's a good band name because it rhymes.
True.
Out on the street, the real heads trying to keep it low.
Saw you move to the beat and I was blown away. It's all you need to know. Maybe I mistook pure distraction for a flash of love.
I wanna clear the air by Monday if all the tanks are gone.
And when it settles down, I wonder if I like what we've done.
There better be a key change.
Oh, you know it. Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Love the xylophone.
all right. That was Dancing in Babylon.
That was pretty good. I don't like the ballads like that. I think they're really cheesy, but I think they took it kind of tongue in cheek, and I think it worked really well actually. There's something so weird about two people in a duet so passionately singing "We're proud-hearted like fish in the lobby." That's just fantastic.
That's
I
great.
love that. Such a slow burn of a track, but I really do enjoy just how over dramatic and just like coded in just like this really sugary love ballad type thing. I think the outro is obviously the best part. That breakdown was fantastic. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that blending of the genres. You still get that 70s balladry with the duet going on, but you still got like this retro disco going. The guitar is like beautiful on that, mixed with that really cool drum beat. Yeah, really good way to carry the energy through that outro. I was expecting something a lot more dance forward, knowing like the featured artist on here, but I feel like keeping it in that back half was also pretty cool and unexpected. So Big fan of that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not used
This
to
is why I
this.
usually go last.
I'm not used to this order. This doesn't feel like this is music that was made in 2024.
No.
It also doesn't really sound like MGMT in general, which is good. It's I like the new direction they're going. The rest of the record sounds like this. I also think this is the first time they have ever had a feature on an album.
That's the
Somebody
first
could
time?
correct me if I'm wrong, but if my knowledge serves me correctly, but that one was also great. I'm just vibing to this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having you go second because sometimes you say you run out of things to say after me and Babby go.
I don't have things to say anyway.
That's
So.
Yeah, I should go last.
What I was going to say is I got like heavy Total Eclipse of the Heart vibes on that one,
Yeah.
which I love corny shit like that. That's kind of where me and you differ a bit because it's a little bit of an eye roll for you, but man, I can
This
just
one was fun though.
I can
This
just
was
throw
great.
down. I don't care. You know, I'm like, whatever. I'm down for some sappy 80s piano ballads. But like, this is obviously better than anything there. Cause man, yeah, that dance breakdown at the end. I mean, we were both going in like, this is a key change, and that misdirect was fantastic.
Unexpected twist.
Yes. That song was actually produced by M. Night Shyamalan himself.
In his prime.
In his
Whatever
prime.
that was.
Yeah, that's an offcut from the early 2000s. He was working on it back in the day. But we can move on. Track 4 is People in the Streets.
And I did. It's over.
Anytime you have a Travis pick guitar, it's just
You get the Kate Bush bass in there too. I'm like, it's over.
wow, true.
Life keeps on going, showing you things that you can't unsee, and a sense of unknowing why. Anything happens to be, and just as the sun comes out again, something is blocking the light, but it's alright.
I'm gonna stop that a little early in case that transitions. But that is People in the Streets.
I'm gonna go last. Go that way.
So start with Bab Jab then?
We're switching it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Too much pressure. The ending of that song really stood out to me, like the last minute and a half. That was great. So far, I don't want to like jinx anything, but it feels like their most like straightforward like pop album so far. Like everything else they've done has been like either like synth pop or like kind of indie-ish. But this one is kind of just like a straightforward like pop album from like the 80s. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not really paying attention to the lyrics right now. I'm just kind of listening. But yeah, I'm just great.
They're
fine.
funny.
Yes,
They're funny.
I'm sure.
There was a line that made me laugh. It was like right at the end. It's like, I listen for the sound of the starting gun, but when you're living the dream and your ears are bad, Like that's just
It's that guy.
that's just kind of funny. Um, yeah, no, this is like phenomenal. Like it's pretty obvious. Like they're wearing their like influences on their sleeve, but also it's like this is just really really solid pop music. Like there's a little bit of like the psych stuff, but it's way back there. But yeah, man, this is just fantastic. I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, that was a borderline masterpiece. I'll give it like half a masterpiece. I'm not quite there yet. I need to listen, but that was phenomenal. That's my favorite so far by far.
Yeah.
I think this was the best use of like kind of combining the genres, and kind of making their own thing out of it. Still, I mean, production and everything is fantastic. I love how loud the drums were in the mix, and you kind of keep those strings low, so still gives it this little bit of like a flat, understated element. And then as the song builds, you get more and more of those really nice noisy elements. You have this fantastic guitar, the retro synths coming in to add some like chunky textures to it. The whole track just flowed phenomenally. And lyrics wise is fantastic as well. I love just like this like kind of switch. I love when artists do the chorus and they switch the meaning of the chorus every time. That's one of my favorite things. I think it's like one of the best way to develop a track as it goes. And you could take this literally as like people literally protesting in the streets for like, you know, social causes or whatever as things get worse and worse. But you could also see it as like growing older and like all these shiny things as you grow up start to get more dull and dull. And you're like, what do I do now? Everything kind of sucks. And you start to kind of get scared of all that and kind of internalize things a little bit more. Could also be them in the music landscape because they've been gone for 6 years. Is this album not going to hit with people because it's not MGMT quirked up, you know, Little Dark Age? But yeah, I think the writing is phenomenal. It's like kind of coded, but at the same time, it's open up. It's like open to interpretation in a really nice way. So that song is phenomenal.
Yes, big agree. All right, now we're getting ready for the verified slapper, Bubblegum
This
Dog.
is a slapper.
All right, let's see if it transitions into Bubblegum Dog. No.
The mark of a good album is that every single song transitions into each other.
That's true.
Bubblegum dog, tell me what the truth is. Isn't this better love? Doesn't that confuse things? Shouldn't I run? Isn't that the white man? None of this seems like fun, but maybe that's the point, man. For years I've strung you along, afraid of the bubblegum dog that's finally catching up with me. I hope it's a false alarm, but the pain of the bubblegum dog is finally catching up with me.
Grammy bar.
Whoa.
It's got to get his star power fully charged.
Yes.
Bubblegum Dog.
Bubblegum Dog.
Bubblegum Dog.
Best pop group of all time, maybe? I already thought that, but I'm just...
Just
I've never heard of this from MGMT, so that song was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say at this point. Fantastic.
It was
I'll
the-
let Babby do the Fantano type breakdown,
Yeah,
but
there you go.
Shave my head.
yeah,
I already
I'm just
did.
here to say it's good.
Yeah, that was like the best Queen song that Queen ever made. Better than a lot of
Better
Queen
than like
songs.
90% songs.
if you think about it, yeah, they were not a very good album group. But you know, this is like it does the thing that like good Queen songs do, where they're like really like they change up a lot, and I think that was a lot of like Freddie's writing, is that they would do that and you know give like each of the instruments like a part. I love that too. Like, yeah, it's kind of getting like Queen vibes and a little bit of like Meatloaf, just like a tad bit, just a sprinkle of Meatloaf, if you will, which would be terrible. I would hate to have a sprinkle of Meatloaf.
Give me the whole thing.
Yeah, such a tease. I love ketchup hamburger. But yeah, that was fantastic. This is better than I thought it was going to be, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know how I follow that up now that the song has been described as Queen and meatloaf mixed and a ketchup hamburger.
Just
I feel
a
like
little
that's the
bit.
perfect description. No, this is fantastic. I've loved this song since it came out as a single. I'm like, this is just a perfect blend again of those old styles. Yeah, love the guitar solo into like the weird keyboard, whatever instrument that is. It's just phenomenal. The way they play with textures is still like top notch. I think the writing on this record is like Little Dark Age had fantastic writing, and I think we talked about that. But I think like they've expanded on it even further here. Like this writing is so rock solid. Again, just like talking about like the Bubblegum Dog being like easy, kind of stupid, fun entertainment, and him kind of like maturing out of like the I need to be super artsy and pretentious in all of my art type thing, and that kind of holding him back from releasing new music. So kind of realizing that as he gets older, where it's like, hey, sometimes you need just like the fun, easy stuff. Which is weird because this song instrumentally is just like so intricate and textured and well made and like really fun, but still has a little bit of that artsiness to it. I like how he kind of battles between the two, where it's like sometimes you need a little bit of both. But yeah, I think it's a really fantastic song. I think the progressions on all of these songs have been really fantastic. It keeps you engaged the whole time. And while it's not like the most quirked up thing in the world, I still get enough of it from them to be like, this is clearly MGMT and nobody else can really do something like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, like a little bit of the psych elements in there too. I always like some good psychedelic stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, very good.
Yeah. All right. Well, halfway done. No misses. Got track 6. Nothing to declare. Which is what I say at the TSA.
To declare, not in the bags under my eyes. I can see you standing there.
Who's the guy that says I do declare?
Why do you declare? I don't know.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
My Spanish castle in the sky. I can see it floating there, but still there's nothing to define. Don't ask me how I know. 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 Don't ask me how I know.
There was nothing to declare.
Nothing.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
I thought that was all you were gonna say.
I'm running out of things to say because they're all great songs.
Yeah.
That one is very linear instead of verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It was just
That's true.
Why am I going first?
This is an exercise.
I guess I'll bail you out a little bit. No, I like that one quite a bit. I will say that that one's probably my least favorite so far, but still not a miss, I would say. It's just, it doesn't have the dynamics and it doesn't have all of the elements that have made all the other ones so great. You know, they've been really all over the place in a great way. And this one was just kind of, I think this one was maybe a little bring you back down to earth after a Bubblegum Dog. And then we'll see how the rest of this album finishes out. So I think in like the album sense, I think it works. But in terms of it being an individual song, not so much my favorite, but still pretty good.
I think it was pretty good. These are one of these songs where it's like I always overlook these when we do reactions, but songs like these are the ones I go back to the most, and I'm not sure why. They're just nice. They're really nice. They're not like too gripping, but I feel like yeah, it flows nicely in the track listing here. We just had like 3 absolute slappers, so it's nice to kind of come down a little bit, get a little more of an acoustic thing going. I love the subtle Spanish guitar with that really nice hand percussion. Texturally, again, I'm gonna say it over and over again. They are masters of building texture into tracks, and that's something I absolutely love. Especially in like good headphones, you get to hear all the little nice like variances as the track goes on. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to lyrics too much on this track, honestly. I was just kind of vibing. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and get those later, but this song sounds gorgeous. So
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Move on. Track 7 is Nothing Changes. 2 nothing tracks back to back.
nothing ever happens.
I know.
This is like about when you're about to fight Bowser. Never mind.
The lead up, definitely, though.
This is what the gods must have been talking about when they told me nothing changes. Falling through the Pleiades straight into a cloud, wishing all the stars could save me. But nothing's gonna change, believe me. Believe me.
Masterpiece. Trumpet.
They took that one from James. I knew he would show up.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
The gods must have been talking about when they told me nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
I think that's the best one so far.
I would agree.
That's one of those where you hear for the first time and you're like, yeah, this is going to be stuck in my head, like all the time. And I love a little bit of Twompet. I always love Twompet. This might be the stupidest comparison of all time, but the first half gave me like first half of Freebird vibes, where it's like kind of slow and like had kind of like a similar
I see it.
rhythm to it. Obviously completely different genres, but similar type of thing going on. But I think that's my favorite so far. That and Mother Nature, definitely. 2 biggest wins.
Yeah.
I feel like we should go back to the Ants for the First Time video and just describe every song as like Freebird.
I knew I felt so stupid saying that. That's what I thought during the song. Like, this is kind of
weirdly
like
makes
Freebird a
sense.
little bit.
No, it makes sense. No, yeah. I mean, weirdly enough, I was getting like Illinois vibes from the last part of it there.
Mhm.
Just that like instrumental explosion. I mean, obviously you got the trumpet, but it just felt like so lush and alive, like some of the best songs on Illinois do. But yeah, no, that's easily the best song. And frankly, if anyone disagrees, I will come to their house and punch them. So I just want to put that threat out there.
Leave your address in the comments below.
It's my favorite move.
And
I
do
still
like
think
the
people on
loud
streets do a little
belting.
better, but the
That's
song is
fair.
fantastic. The song's fantastic. Yeah, I love the instrumental. Again, the build is fantastic. The trumpet with the 80s synth, fantastic combo. And you have those synths kind of like dispersing and coming in and out towards the end. They know how to build the track and to do like a very satisfying like conclusion to it. There's a beginning and there's an end, and you get great moments throughout all of it. That's why I love their longer songs too, because like they really get to explore this space and they do a really good job with it. Lyrics wise, again, such a good writer. Like I know I talked about it like in the little Dark Age video, but like it's the instrumentals are gorgeous, but there's a whole other half of this record. I love how personal he gets, but also like sees the bigger picture at the same time. They're very personable lyrics, but they're again vague enough where you can attach your own meaning to it. But this kind of like feeling of alienation and nothing changing, whether it's in his personal life or just the world around him. This whole like Sisyphus type narrative that he's got going on in the track, and just some pretty words and lines that he ties together with. So really good. No misses.
No misses.
They don't miss.
Not yet. We'll see. Track 8
This
is.
song sucks.
I don't know. Hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's possible. Track 8 is Frady's song.
What if it's Fraudies?
Could be Frady's. It's probably James's last name.
Maybe. No, it's like some. It's a funny last name to be sure.
Fauntleroy?
It's Ben Goldwasser and Andrew Van Wingarden.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is Cowboy song.
Acid Western.
Did I dream
It is technically defined as acid western.
felt like I couldn't love anymore? Entire symphonies, a holy light was gifted to me. Anytime the music plays and morning comes to wash it away.
Frady's song.
I like forgot where I was the second half of that song. That was crazy. You throw a little bit of French horn, tuba maybe. That was awesome. Yeah. You said it felt kind of Western at the start, and then just kind of I don't even know how to describe what happened, but yeah, that one's up there too. These are all up there. They're the best
It's
pop duo of
SpongeBob
all
meme
time,
where
I've
he-
decided.
It's the SpongeBob meme where he floats out of the body and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my weird poll now, if that's okay.
It's okay.
You guys aren't gonna get it because it's for a movie that neither of you have seen. It is. There's the scene in the Coen Brothers True Grit movie, and forgive me if I am inaccurate. I saw it one time 6 years ago, so all the details are a little fuzzy. But there's this scene where I think it's after a big shootout, and it's Jeff Bridges' character, and he's riding away on his horse, and his horse is shot in the shootout, and so it's this like sideways shot, or I guess, I don't know, just like a silhouette of the side view of the horse going, and it's just like slowly dying. It's like a montage of a horse slowly dying. That was the vibe that this song gave off. Just like that was all I was seeing. It was just like this silhouette of a man on a horse, and the horse is like slowly dying through the beginning of it, and then the end was like something else. But yeah,
They use a real horse.
I doubt they actually killed a horse. But the horse does die. Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Spoiler
no.
alert.
I'm not going to watch it now.
I don't remember if the horse is important to the movie. That might be literally the only thing I remember about the movie is that the horse died. It's the one interesting scene that I really remember. But yeah, it's like my go-to shot when I was like a Western style song. It's like kind of slow like that. And that might be the best representation of it. So that was pretty G-dang epic, if you ask me.
it's gorgeous. I love that. This is the kind of vibe I love. Dissociation in music form was one of my favorite things. You just start losing it. Again, I don't know how they went 6 years without an album, because like the way they put together compositions seems so flawless that it's like, okay, did it really take you 6 years to write this one song? Because like everything seems perfectly placed to a point where it's like almost obsessive. But I love just like, yeah, the beginning with the acoustic. You get this really, really, really intimate vocal. The song sounds huge, but it also sounds really tight knit. And then this thing just kind of like expands, breaks at the seams. You get a lot of these different psych elements. You get some horns, you get some really fantastic, pretty piano and guitar flourishes. Reminded me a lot of God Turned Me Into a Flower by Ways Blood. That was probably the closest to what I've heard other than this song. They both do this same kind of thing. They kind of disintegrate into this like ambient, like just gorgeous piece. But yeah, the atmosphere here is fantastic. I think this is a perfect song pretty much.
Yeah. Still no misses.
None.
All right, track 9. I wish I was joking.
Me too.
That's what Joaquin Phoenix says.
Half of love is still love.
While he's running from the police.
Yeah, I wish I was
I
joking
wish I
right
was
now.
joking right now.
To ease you in. Pass the time 1,000 ways. In the dump, you'll find love. Half the time, I feel sad. And any kind of love will do. Nobody calls me a gangster of love. At 6 in the morning, when new day is dawning. I wish I was joking. 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 Half of love is joking. Half of love is still love.
Pretty fun. All right. That was I Wish I Was Joking.
Oh.
Oh no,
Did
did
not
it keep
pause.
going?
The mark of a good song is a laugh track at the end.
That's true.
True.
That one was pretty good. I don't know why, but I was like listening to just the drums the whole time, which like they weren't doing anything crazy. I was just like, I like these drums a lot. Um,
You would love Ringo
But-
Starr.
he's the only biopic I'm watching of the four.
That's true.
But I like his like robotic like breaky voice that like slowly turns clear. I thought that was pretty sick. But yeah, more of a subtler song compared to the rest, but still a banger. Banger alert, dinner.
Wee woo wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Yeah, I really like that one too. That one might be one of my favorites, honestly. You know me, I'm not usually a fan of repetition, but for some reason that one worked for me. Just the repeat of I Wish I Was Joking over and over and over again. Really fun, really cool. That one had just such a vibe to it that I was just there 100%. So, good stuff.
You got Father John Misty. You got the flaming lips, and you go moo moo moo, and then that's the song.
I could see that, yeah.
I read the first verse, and I'm like, this is Father John Misty to a T. I think it works really great. I love it. Yeah, I think the pacing of this record, the production styles, all of this are just really, really, really well done and thought out. We've reached this last point in the last song where we pretty much completely dissociate from whatever the beginning of the track was, and then we get this song where it continues that disassociation theme, but it carries through in the lyrics instead of the instrumental.
Yeah.
This album's kind of like falling apart. I would say in a good way. Like the production is still, it's falling apart conceptually. He's starting to kind of lose it a little bit. He's pointing out the super gray and mundane and boring existence, and he has to take it seriously, but it's such a joke. All these things that he's talking about, it's really fantastic writing, and just that's one thing I really loved about Little Dark Age is the dark humor aspect of it. Of this sucks, but we're just gotta laugh through all of this craziness. Kind of entering here again, but yeah, I think the last song and this song is a perfect pairing with each other, and they're both really fantastic. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can just finish this ish out, finally resolving the first track with
Jeez.
Loss of Life. I guess part one.
You can sail
Good?
off
yeah.
the edges of the earth. Greet the workers of the universe. Still nothing prepares you for loss of life. At the table, undressing cosmic knots, but it's neither created nor destroyed. There's a way to quiet all the noise, 'cause it's only a different kind of game. Even if your color fades away.
Spooky. All right, that was Loss of Life and Loss of Life.
Wow.
Loss of life. Yeah.
Break it down for us, Bab Jim.
It was a song.
That's true.
I liked it. It sounded good to me.
I will, I will say this is probably the one that's hardest to talk about.
Yes, it is. I like the trumpets again.
I do too.
It's probably the worst thing to say about that song because they were there for like 3 seconds.
They were significant though.
Yes.
More significant.
Yes, good song. I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't know what to say.
I would agree. It is a good song. This is like one of my favorite types of songs. Ones where it's just like 4 verses and then just every verse adds an element. I feel like that's, I mean, it's kind of just like a basic way to structure a song like this, but this is just done really, really effectively. And I feel like it's also just like a perfect closer, you know? I mean, it kind of fits in with like the last few tracks. Yeah, I don't know. This album kind of reminds me of like, this is going to be a weird one, but Fishing for Fishies.
We got a lot over it.
I know. But like how it starts off, it's all slappers.
Yeah.
And then it like slowly at the end kind of turns into this bigger statement. And like, I'm not going to be able to pick apart lyrics here, but I feel like these last 2 or 3 tracks have just been like highlights in terms of that on the album. But yeah, really, really great closer.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, I love the spacey, cosmic. You kind of like take yourself out of the record and you're just floating up in space looking at everything. Really nice, slow burn kind of closer. I love the noise at the end to kind of take you out and leave you guessing a little bit. But yeah, the progression of this record, this is a whole experience, and I'm really, really, really impressed with the way this thing flows, because you start and it's like very 70s, you get some 80s in there, it's like very retro, and then it kind of starts taking its own liberties, and it unravels itself and builds something new out of all these disjointed parts, and you get, it's MGMT like through and through. You still get, and you can definitely tell it's them, but it's so different than the other stuff they've done, and just the different production styles and everything are fantastic. Texturally, the thing's beautiful. Writing wise is super sharp. Yeah, there's nothing like really to not love about this thing. It's gonna take a lot to beat Little Dark Age, because that album is like really phenomenal. But this like definitely hangs with it, I would say. Like, it's just as clean, it's just as like lyrically potent. Yeah, I mean, that album has more slappers, but this one has more like really cool cosmic experiments going on. So big fan. I love this thing.
Yeah, I would agree. Except I'm going to go one step further. I like this album more than I like Little Dark Age, but that's only because there's a couple songs on Little Dark Age I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a big fan of One Thing Left to Try or When You're Small. And I don't know if
I love
that's...
When You're Small.
I don't like that song. Those are always my 2 skippers, but Handed Over is easily like my favorite song on the whole G-Dang thing. So I never skip that one. But yeah, this thing is just insanely consistent in terms of quality, in terms of like the vibes. It's all over the place, which I think is a positive, because yeah, it just shows how versatile these 2 dudes are. And yeah, I'm excited to listen to this thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think it definitely hangs with the rest of their discography. I think Lil Dark Age and Congratulations are like my 1 and 2 like pop albums of all time. So it's against tough competition for me, but I think it hangs pretty well, especially off first listen, where I don't really digest anything first listen. So yeah, I agree.
Album.
Good album.
Very good.
Well, what are we gonna do next time?
Pull up the Google Doc. We're doing something different.
Okay.
I know you love wheels. You're not getting one this week.
Rats.
This year's we're doing a lot of different stuff. We did a short boy last week with the little Sims EP, so we had a tiny wheel for that, and we got this new thing where I'm going back to the roots of this channel because I completely abandoned it very quickly.
I didn't.
The whole purpose of the original reaction series on this channel was me showing Jerry albums that I think he'd like or hate.
And
I did that
vice
for about
versa.
5 weeks, and vice versa. I did that for about 5 weeks and then completely ceased it. Jerry's been doing it consistently, so I'm carving out a week where I'm replacing my wheel spin for this new section, which is all albums I've heard, but I would like to show on the channel. There's gonna be a lot of stuff in here that we would probably not react to on the channel if not given this category, and some stuff that definitely would be. But yeah. With that being said, I think we're diving into the deepest depths I could possibly do right away to
Okay.
rip the Band-Aid off. So we're doing Billy Wood's Aethiopes next week.
All right.
So throwing you in the deep end. Maybe the most lyrically dense album I've ever heard, and you don't read into lyrics that much. So this is gonna be an experiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should make him listen to FA Infinity all the way through without stopping once.
Without stopping. We're gonna do that. I just need to figure out how we do that in an entertaining way.
You don't?
Next week, Billy Wood's Aethiopes. I could talk for 3 hours about that thing, so I'm gonna try to like not do that.
Well, you're gonna have to talk about it. I'm not gonna have anything to say.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a very different experience for you. So I want to pull you into my world and see how different this is.
Okay.
Because we would never do this album on the channel if this wasn't for this thing. But I need to talk about it.
Yeah.
We also have movie homework for you if you'd like to engage. So this
I'll
album
engage.
has a lot of ties to Kongi's Harvest, which is a 70s Nigerian film. It's free on
Okay.
YouTube. So viewers at home too, if you'd like to watch that before next week's episode, go for it. It's very good. I just watched it again this week. It's very good. But yeah, a little bit of video homework. But so yeah, next week, diving into the depths of that, and then we'll be back to some wheels for a little bit until a new album comes out soon, actually. So
Okay.
we got Adrian Linker coming out pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's middle of March.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we're throwing you all over the place this year, but should be some variations in content. So
A lot of new stuff.
yes, sir.
But yeah, I guess that'll do it for this video. Did you like it? Do you like this record? Where does it stand in your MGMT rankings? Let us know in the comments down below. We have a podcast.
Can you do like the green screen like giant subscribe button and like the notification bell sounding really loudly?
Then like the mouse clicks over to it and goes
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll do that.
We're
Okay.
right in the center of the screen.
Really big and really loud. But also subscribe to our podcast. Do that because we do a podcast and it's very good. I think. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
We
Talking
talk.
about Blue Velvet next week,
Oh, that's right.
and
Yes.
maybe Kongi's Harvest if we want to talk about it.
Theoretically, we could talk about it. Why not? We're gonna be watching it anyways.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're starting to do a features series where we're just focusing on one piece of media. If you're interested in Disco Elysium, we released it about
You
a
should
month
be.
ago. Yeah, very, very good. Check out our podcast on that if you are into that. And we're going to be doing one on Blue Velvet. So if you're into David Lynch movies, check that out. But that's it for plugging.
Oh, I am. No more plugs unless Babjap has anything to plug.
No.
We should do a Babjap wheel soon though. We got like 5.
need to
different
revise
wheels
it.
now. Yeah, revise your wheel. We'll do that.
I haven't touched that thing in at least 2 years.
Yeah, we'll do a Bab Jab wheel. Those are sorely missed.
I'm sure they are.
On the wheel website, I actually made custom sound effects for each of the albums.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then we haven't used it. in
We
like
haven't
2
used it since
years.
I did that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But bye bye.
I froze for a second.
You did.
I was gonna say, yeah, I thought you were just hitting me with that fluoride stare.
That was pretty scary.
That's a good way to end a video.
I think so.
Just only showed Babby's camera at the end.